Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is Kaushik, and today I'm gonna show you about developer options. What is this all about? So you have probably heard about developer options in your Android device. Uh, so what it does is actually gives you admin level privilege over your system files. It basically allows you to tweak your phones and increase the performance or makes other modifications in your system files. So how do you do that in your Android device? And I'm going to discuss what are the advantages and disadvantages of using it in your phone. So to first enable developer options, you need to go to settings in your device. I'm using a coolpad cool one. It generally is the same format for any stock Android device. So you go to your settings, you go to about phone, and here if you're tapping the build number a multiple number of times, it will show you the developer options. Now as you see, I have already enabled it, so it is asking me it's showing me no need, you are already a developer. So once you have enabled that from your about phone, you need to go to your settings page, and you will find here developer options, but I I think it is different in various Android systems. So you can go to advanced settings as it is in my phone, and you can go here, you will find the developer options. So basically you're enabling the developer options. Once you're enabling it, you will be able to do various sorts of modifications in your system, like those people who are familiar with rooting your device, side loading apps, making ADB commands. So all these modules are all built into the developer options, and it doesn't really mean that you need to be a developer or write any code to use this, but it generally gives you the advantages of using those commands. So there is a predefined set of options over here which I will discuss, and as I will be describing, I will be telling you the advantages and its purpose. So we start with take a bug report. So this take a bug report actually allows you um, to take two kind of reports for logging any bugs in your system. So what is actually the purpose of this bug report? When you have flashed any ROM and you're facing any kind of bugs, so it will allow you to take a report of the entire system. If any bugs is there, it will log it, and it will let you report to the developer of the ROM. So you can take two type of reports, that is interactive report and full report. Whichever is useful, you can take that. I'm not going into the details, I'm not taking a report because I'll be covering in short all the details here. So next is this desktop backup password. So what it actually does is, you're most probably familiar with taking full Android system backups in your PC. So this feature actually allows you to encrypt those backups. Suppose you have taken a backup and haven't encrypted it, you may forget your password. So this allows you to encrypt your desktop backups and make it a password protected, so you can use it for later usage whenever you're wanting to restore those backups. Next we have this stay awake. So basically what the function of this stay awake feature is to keep the screen on when you're charging a phone. This is specifically needed when you're running any debugging apps which are measuring your charging parameters, giving you live updates in the screen, and if your screen stops, then you are not able to see the thing. You have to again press your power button to enable. So basically allows you to monitor your screen without using your device, because it will be on, so that you can see any measurements in the screen itself. I will not be going through all of the options here, because it's not necessarily that you need to use all the options. I will basically will going with the most popular ones so that you can tweak your Android device accordingly. Yeah, here comes the most important thing is OEM unlocking. Allows the bootloader to be unlocked. So you see that whenever you're wanting to flash any custom ROMs to a device or make any modifications, you first need to unlock the OEM, that is the bootloader. What is a bootloader actually? It's a set of files which directs your phone how to boot into the system. So it's a set of commands actually. So to root your device or get code level access to the system files, you need to first unlock the bootloader, that is the OEM unlocking. So if you are wanting to root a device, you may find many tutorials where they ask you to enable the OEM unlocking and the USB debugging. Both are related. I will cover that option in a later once we are finding that option. Next comes the running services. So what this thing basically does is it gives you eagle's view of all the running services in your Android device, each and every system and user related apps, whatever is installed. It will give you a basic description of the processes that are running. So you may see here the various time it has taken to start, and it is basically a reporting, so you can measure any apps. If any malfunction is happening in your system, you can keep a track of them through this. So next up is line is this picture color mode. So you may find various handsets where the color is not appropriate. It is maybe oversaturated, it may be undersaturated, not very too vibrant. So this picture color mode actually gives you more accurate and vibrant colors to your Android. So you can enable this option and get a clear cut vibrant picture on your Android. So if you feel that the OS that you're using isn't implementing the color combinations properly, you can use the picture color mode. It will give you a proper in-depth view of the system's color system. Basically the display, it will not affect any negatively your screen, but it will have a positive impact. You can see the colors are more brighter and more realistic. Now we have this Webview implementation. You may have always found out updates about this Android system Webview in your Play Store. So this is actually the implementation of such kind of Webview. What is actually a Webview? Webview actually allows whatever apps that are installed in your system to render web pages through the app. You may have found many apps that allows you to open websites inside the apps. So how the apps are opening these websites? It is through this Google's Android Webview that the app is rendering, through which you are able to view a website in the app itself without any browser. So this is basically a browser implemented in the app packages that allows you to render the web pages and view it. This multiprocess Webview is actually, it uses a separate set of processing for viewing the Webview over the app systems. So I will not go into details into that. I will just have given you overview of what this Webview implementation is. So next is automatic system updates. This function is generally not needed, since whatever OEMs manufacturers release updates for your phone, it is automated process. In most of the times you can not find any option to disable this automatic update systems in your phone. It keeps on updating. If any important system level update is there, it will generally start downloading. So if you have that option to turn off the automatic updating system, it is fine. If you don't have, you can use this automatic system updates. It will automate the process, or if you don't need to check manually, or if it is always checking for updates, you can turn that off, so it will not allow your system to update or give you a notification. Next is this demo mode. So basically this demo mode gives you a clear status bar. Most probably when you're making a presentation on your phone, like when you're making a tutorial uh, for anything, any subject you're making a tutorial, uh, you don't want your status bar to be very clumsy. So when you turn on the demo mode, it will give you full Wi-Fi signals, full network, and it will generally give a clean interface, so that you can give any presentations without any notifications and all those. It will give you a clear cut status bar. So this is only required when you're making a presentation, or uh, you are keeping your phone constantly for watching any presentation. So that that is the purpose of this demo mode. So next is USB debugging. uh, See, as I told you, the OEM unlocking and this USB debugging is also related. So what this USB debugging does is generally it establishes a direct connection from a PC to your phone. It is used for flashing or giving a set of commands to your device from the PC, like side loading any apps or doing any system level modifications, which you can only fire through your PC. So it establishes a deeper level, interactive level connection from your PC to your phone, so that you can do those processes from the PC itself. Now this revoke USB debugging authorizations is generally when you're connecting to the PC to your phone. You will get certain level of approvals which you need to accept for the PC to be able to connect to your phone. So if you are revoking them, you will just not get it. You will need to connect it once again for authorizing those apps and your PC. So whichever PCs you have already authorized, if you're revoking the access, you won't be able to uh, get into the flash any command into your PC without again approving that connection. So next is the select mock location app. So this feature generally allows you to spoof your location. There are various apps over the Play Store. You can try various apps. It will allow you to fake your locations in the system. So if you're enabling this option, you can set a different GPS location for your phone, so that will allow you to fake your location when you're recording some stuff or making any changes to the system. So that's it. There are various other options, like this wireless display certification is under networking. So this option will only be applicable for you when you're using Miracast or any other mirroring tools for your Android. When you're mirroring things over any secondary display, it will generally show you the certification of the display, so that you can verify the wireless display before mirroring your contents. Now there is this aggressive WLAN to cellular handover. So what is basically the function of this? It generally still enables WLAN to be more aggressive in handling over the data connection to cellular when the WLAN signal is low. So if you are in a place where the Wi-Fi signal is very low and you have a backup as a cellular plan, so if you're enabling this option, if the system detects that your WLAN is using a very low signal, it will automatically hand over the connection to the data. So your performance will not be affected. Suppose you are watching a video, or you are into an important video conferencing where you need the total level of data access. If the system finds that it is a very low then it will obviously hand over that network to the cellular data. But make sure if you're enabling this, there will be a good level of cellular data usage. So make sure you're not in a limited connection, because it may take up huge levels of data as well. Another option that is linked is this cellular data always active. So whenever you're connected to Wi-Fi, or you're using a network, wireless network, it also activates the keeps the cellular network always active. So this will be generally needed for fast network switching. As I said, whenever you are wanting your connection to be a very strong, no loss in your data usage, you can keep this option on. So the system will always check your network. Even if it is low from the WLAN, it will give full level of access to your cellular data to use your data when you need it. So next is line is this select USB configuration. You can set it from here. When you're connecting your computer to your phone, it allows you to select which is the default mode that you want your phone to be connected. So suppose you're using your PC only for transferring files, you can set it as default as media transfer protocol. So you don't need to charge your phone while you're doing it. So um, when you're putting your connecting your phone to your PC, generally at the top of the status bar you will find options for charging, media transfer protocol. But if you're setting it, then don't need to go again to your settings and change that, because it will by default select whichever options which you're selecting now. It will be set as a default option. There are various options like charging, media transfer protocol. Picture transfer protocol is generally sharing your pictures to your PC from your phone. Okay. Coming to the inputs option, there is show tabs. This show tabs option generally shows the location where you're clicking uh, in your phone. So if you can see as I'm enabling this, sorry, it will allow me to show the places where I've touched my fingers. A round circle will come up. Next in line is this pointer location. It generally also allows you to mark your touches. As you can see, it is recording the path from where I'm moving my fingers. So that's it. Another important function is very useful function if you're using a low power device. You can use this Windows animation scale. The lower this animation scale is, the faster your phone will function, because any animations which the system uh, does while you're switching any apps or making any movements in your phone from in the launcher, so those switching animations will be faster if you're using a lower value. Also the transitions which the phone undergoes, if you're setting a lower value, of course it will be faster for you. So if you're using a high-end phone, it generally doesn't matter. But if you're using a phone which has a lower processor and lower RAM, then I recommend you to lower down the values as much as possible. It will be much faster. Next is this simulate secondary displays. So what is this function of this simulate secondary displays is when you're mirroring the content of your phone to your PC, the resolution is generally same as your phone. So if you want to change the resolution of the display to fit your PC, you can use this option. It is a very handy option when you're mirroring contents or watching a video in your desktop that you have mirrored from your phone. So it will allow you to adjust the size. There are also hardware accelerated rendering. This actually is related to your GPU. I will not go into the details of this. You can do a quick Google search about this hardware related accelerated rendering. So it generally allows your hardware rendering content. You can tweak them so to suit to your needs. I will go through the option of this Force 4x MSAA. This is generally allows your device to use a high graphic content if you're having a powerful processor and into gaming much, you can enable this option. This will enable multi-sample and anti-aliasing in your phone, so you can get a clear, crisp, clear display, and it will if you are using high-end processor, it will allow you to get a good experience of games in your phone. So you can enable this option if you have a high-end processor, but if you have a low-end processor, then generally you can keep this turned off. It will generally not affect your performance, but if you're using a low power phone, it will affect your performance, so better not enabling it in a low powered phone. So next up, this is this disable USB audio routing. So the function of this is, when you're using your phone, uh, or using any audio peripheral, so generally what it does is, when you're playing audio on your phone, it is routed from your phone via USB to the audio peripheral. It will generally disable that audio routing facility, and the phone and the music will be playing in your phone. But if you are using a visual display, the display will be happening in the other peripheral, but the sound will be coming out from your phone. So this will disable that audio routing feature. Another important thing is this apps. uh, it generally can affect your performance, so better not deal with them, so better not tweak these features, but I'm just mentioning it for your knowledge purposes. This don't keep activities, destroy every activity as soon as it user leaves it. So if you're using an app and it is rendering some processes internally, you can keep the don't keep activities option. It will, once you're closing it, it will remove all trace of the activities altogether. Then there is background process limit. This generally sets your phone to limit the background processes that is running in your phone. Suppose you have more than 4 or 5 processes, so you can limit it accordingly, so that your phone doesn't uses a large number of background processes internally hardware going on, so you can limit them. Next is this inactive apps. This inactive apps option is generally for turning any system level apps to inactive, which you don't want your system to consume power while using these apps. So you can turn these inactive options and toggle whichever app you want to be inactive. It will allow you to deactivate those apps. This force allow apps on external. What it generally does is, any system level app or whatever apps you're installing, generally the system defines, or the app predefines where it needs to be installed. But this option will enable you to save that app only externally into your external storage. If you have a phone where there is no external storage, and of course it will be internal, but if you're having a SD card, it will this option will make sure that you're saving that app externally. So that's it all. It's all about developer options. I will meet you some other day with some new video. Thank you.